It's on, just go. I know. And here we are at BAPS, that's right, the British Association of Pool or Snooker, because let's be honest, nobody really knows what game we're playing. Well, judging, and of course we are playing by the 80s style, we're playing here by the 80s style of televised pool, that being that everybody in the building is completely inebriated. I know stuff to say. It's alright. Very closely contested game here. In fact, nobody is doing pretty much anything at all. Your commentator will be popping up from time to time just to mouth off because I am an arsehole. Oh, no, we thought we were going to be getting a pot there. Everybody got really excited. Everybody in the arena, in the garage here, stood up. And then they all sat down disappointed. Much like the crowd at any Justin Bieber concert. Again, we all got really excited there for a pot, but then nothing at all really happened. Somebody just hit a red thing into a black thing. There's a joke about America in there somewhere, but I'm not going to make it. And there was a ding. Everybody thought a wrestling match was about to kick off, but nope, somebody just hit the lights. Player 1 very angry there. That's right, it's player 1 and player 2 because this is almost like a video game. It's so close. Oh, and somebody we just potted a red. A red was just potted. That's right, a red just went down a hole. Don't make that joke. I know you're thinking of there at home. This is humorously the youth final here at BAPS, the British Association of Pool or Snooker. Just to remind you, it's called that because we don't really know what game we're playing here at all. You see, this is the level of play we've got here. People are missing the ball. One player here is having a particularly awful game that he's now playing cricket with his pool cue. Now he's grunting like a horse on its way to the meat counter here in your local supermarket. The lighting here being the most spectacular thing of this entire game. The lighting is brilliant, but the game isn't all that. But this is BAPS, the British Association of Pool or Snooker. No one really knows what game we're playing or why we're doing it. Of all the balls to pot, the young player 1 pots the white one. The one that he isn't supposed to pot. This, of course, showing some of his undeniable skill at being awful. And another red goes down. The young player one is looking atrocious here. The young player one is looking atrocious here. The young angry player one is looking even more atrocious. I should probably stop knocking him because he might start hitting me. Picking carefully from his series of cues. This is pool and not golf, or is it snooker? I don't really know.
Mash up. Yeah.
This is a tense contest.
Sorry, Sam. Shot. So I presume you could possibly move the white ball within the line, because even though I potted mine, it's a foul shot, isn't it? Got another one. Sam.
A very, very tense game here in the British Association of Pool or Snooker. The crowd here is in a hushed silence, mainly because they are not here at all. The young player one is getting frustrated here at his performance in the biggest game of his life. That's literally because nobody is actually in attendance and nobody is watching this at home.
Shut up! He knocked it over. You got another shot. Foul.
We here at BAPS apologise for this cruel and unusual punishment that we are inflicting upon you people here in the internet. One of our players is in an intensely angry mood that he has begun to play darts during the round. And in fairness, he performed better at darts than he is here at BAPS. There is a lot of yellow on the table right now. That mainly being due to the awful performance of our player one here. Here we go. We actually have one person in the audience here today. That's one person. That's one more person than we had during the semi-final here at the British Association of Pool or Snooker. Yes, that's right. Our acronym, unfortunately, is BAPS. Heavily. Our young player one is losing atrociously here. He may not be able to show his face in a professional pool or snooker tournament again. His gaming career could well be over, or alternatively, nobody will care.
The young player's crying.
Even the majority of our audience is more interested in the fact that Arsenal have scored. That's right, we are all as bored with this game that we are watching the football whilst we are filming it. As you can see in the background there, one of our audience is getting quite vocal for himself. Something that some of the players really aren't. This goes to show you the level of security here at the British Association of Pool or Snooker, that one of the crowd members has walked into the TV booth and put his drink down and left. That goes to show you that we have some of the best security. The same security, yes, our security is provided by G4S. That's a joke that's older than I am. And that brings to an end the Reds' reputation on the table. But unfortunately, that shot didn't bring this atrocity of a game to an end. That was the equivalent to a penalty taker missing from the goal line. Our crowd are doing some sort of a march or rally with the intention, obviously, to have this game cancelled because our two members of audience are revolting. And I don't mean in a disgusting way, I mean in a revolt kind of way. They've begun to march around the table. This is, of course, because they are very furious with BAPS for holding a tournament in their area. We have our very own equivalent of the March Association here. And by the looks of things, they are our very own suffragettes. The players are fighting them off. The fans think it's all over. We all wish it was. But unfortunately it isn't. It still is not over. The crowd are revolting.
More fans!
The audience are marching around the table in fury that this game is continuing. There's now 3 members of the audience marching around the table, attempting to disrupt play. Perhaps they are more entertaining than the rest of the game. That remains to be seen here.
Next time we might get us. Don't want to mess with someone.
For the love of Lord, please pot the ball. We are all losing the will to live here in the garage at the British Association of Pool or Snooker.
Somebody the ball.
The players are having a back and forth conversation with the film crew. That's how bored we all are today. And it's still not over. We're not excited about this game. We're all just angry. One of the fans is now fighting with our young player one. And it's gone in. The game is over. Thank Christ for that. The game has ended. And now we are happy. And now the brawl begins.
Stop it, someone will get hurt.
I would say call in security, but we haven't got any because we are a very small system. Somebody please put the house lights up because nothing will happen here. We will just continue the coverage of today's game by watching the fight. We are, of course, the most professional of organisations, and this brings to an end the youth final of the British Association of Pool or Snooker. The world's most angry man has lost to somebody who is probably too old for the age bracket, but that remains to be seen. I have been your announcer, and I am running away now. Very closely contested game here. In fact, nobody is doing pretty much anything at all. Your commentator will be popping up from time to time just to mouth off because I am an arse. Time to go. I know. And here we are at BAPS, that's right, the British Association of Pool or Snooker, because let's be honest, nobody really knows what game we're playing. Well, judging, and of course we are playing by the 80s style, we're playing here by the 80s style of televised pool, that being that everybody in the building is completely inebriated. No stuff to say. It's alright. Asshole. Could. Oh, no, we thought we were going to be getting a pot there. Everybody got really excited. Everybody in the arena, in the garage here, stood up. And then they all sat down disappointed. Much like the crowd at any Justin Bieber concert. Again, we all got really excited there for a pot, but then nothing at all really happened. Somebody just hit a red thing into a black thing. There's a joke about America in there somewhere, but I'm not going to make it. And there was a ding. Everybody thought a wrestling match was about to kick off, but nope, somebody just hit the lights.